Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My position here will be to introduce all of the native teams peers that we have on the call today, plus explain a bit about the product itself and what it does. So I'll firstly introduce two of the ladies that are with me on the call. We have Lissy, our SVP of product, and Mariana, who is our insanely good tax rep, pretty much like the best person that you have for any tax related questions. My name is Igor and I'm working as SVP of sales and pretty much overlooking all the sales related activities. And we're here to kind of like cover all of the important topics that we have around features and updates that appeared and that are coming in the future, especially because our product is developing and moving as the globe is moving, which brings me to the topic that I want to discuss first, and that's how Native Team started and why are we here and what are the main drives of the company in general and values and strategic plans. So pretty much, as I said, that the product is constantly moving. That means that we are something that is not so common in the SaaS and fintech industries, and that's being growth driven, which means all of the inside feedbacks and kind of like loops that we are getting from the field is what is leading the product towards the success that we want to achieve with everyone, and that's to be the number one provider around EOR, finance, employment, mobility, recruitment, and a lot more. So I'll start firstly about like the vision and the statement that we have and why are we here. As you know, pretty much Native Team started in 2020, which means we kind of wanted to bring something to the table that is different than what the competition before us did. We're not the first that came with the idea around similar product, but we're the first one that wanted to have the product that can be actually approachable and applicable to every single one of the potential clients across the globe, which means two of the main differences between us and the competition is firstly the pricing that is connected to the second thing, and that's speed of delivery. All of the activities and all of the attributions that we have when it comes to operational part, everything is in-house. The main difference that we have is that we are operational within our own entities in all the countries that we have currently open, which is more than 70 of them, which brings us to the point that, as I said, Mariana is our tax expert. So we have our own tax experts that are working here and assisting all of our clients rather than having and outsourcing it to third-party providers, which is easing up the whole idea of having less bottlenecks and roadblocks, and especially like kind of providing the faster and better service. And additionally, all of this brings us to the point that we have currently on the website itself, which is knowledge base. Across the last 4 years, we kind of like had numerous different cases. Every single one of them was different, but all of the kind of like data that we gathered in the due course of 4 years has been populated and addressed properly in the knowledge base that is now accessible, obviously in the basic model to all of the website visitors and in extensive model to all of our customers and clients. What it means, that means that all of the potential problems and bottlenecks that people are facing, individuals or companies across the globe when it comes to the employment, taxes, payments, and regulations around all of this is easily accessible and can be in your hands in a matter of seconds. That's something that is, I think, important topic, especially in 2024, because we're speaking about the age where being cost efficient is number one priority. As you know, like 2024 was the first year when we had less investment in terms of the amount globally than all of the years prior to this one. And the first year also when we had like most investments, actually the biggest chunk of investment went to the AI, which means the globe is and the society is moving pretty fast. And that's why we are here to kind of assist and be there for all of the potential people that might have concerns or questions or want to overcome any of the modern age diseases when it comes to handling business or being an independent individual and employee, entrepreneur, or contractor. So I'll explain actually like all four of our key let's say, activities that we are conducting in native teams and that we are covering, which is native pay, native work, native company, and native mobility. I won't touch that much around native money. We'll leave that one to Alisi. When it comes to the native pay, I just want to explain what's the idea around it. Pretty much the name is explaining kind of almost everything, which means like all of the payment processes and operations are handled within native teams and our own system, plus the operational team that we have in the backend, which means if you're an individual and you're facing difficulties with, let's say, invoicing clients or being compliant or everything around it, we are here to assist. What that means, the main kind of, let's say, advantage that you're having with that is, firstly, you're saving time, and secondly, you have more money in your pocket, which is kind of connected one with each other. Obviously, if you have more time in your disposal, you can have more time invested into work, which means more money in your pocket. Second one is most of the young people, especially the ones that are just finishing college or starting already, like have, let's say, 3 to 5 years of experience as a freelancer or, again, entrepreneur, are not that familiar with the compliance topics and regulations, again, local ones or international ones, especially because most of the work that every single individual is having is connected to different countries, which means you have different regulations that you need to have concern about. That's where we are stepping in and helping and assisting to overcome all of these problems, which means our invoicing feature is something that is helping and kind of like overcoming the problem of being fully compliant. And I'll give a couple of examples of how can our invoicing tool be helpful. One of them can be if you're, let's say, coming from any of the countries that is not Western one, so like all of the not fully developed ones in the face of the, let's say, global business circle, you might have a compliance problem, which means that fraudulent behavior is coming from most of these regions. And that being said, it's hard to find a client that wants to have business with you because they might face potential problems. But with us, that's kind of like totally overcome with a couple of the additional things that we have in place, which means that if you are, because let's say almost 90% of our clients are working across 3 different countries, USA, UK, or the Europe in general, we have the option to invoice in these 3 currencies from our entities that are based there, which means the speed of the transfer of the money is much faster. It's under 24 hours. And additionally, the company that you're working with won't have any problems with potentially thinking that some of the behavior or some of the payment methodology might be fraudulent. When it comes to the native work, and I won't go that deep into it because, as I said, Lisa is our SVP of product, which means she will explain all of this a bit more thorough. When it comes to the native work, this is kind of like overlooking all of the employment activities. Let me give you like a bit of an example what it does. As you know, like traditional way of employment was with us from the feudal times. Obviously, when COVID started, digitalization and transferring to like remote or hybrid type of working became a thing of a present rather than the future. And we kind of wanted to like step in and help and address all of the things that are potential axes in the calculation and equation when it comes to employment, which means how to pay contributions, what are the tax benefits, or how can you optimize paying taxes for the employment itself, how to be fully compliant, and how to kind of like maintain the ideal cash flow scenario for any of the individual cases, again, correlated to B2Cs or B2Bs. Which brings us to the point that in every single entity that we have across the globe, we can offer the same solution with the same variety of options and helpful tools to every single one of the potential or existing clients out there. When it comes to the native company, this is something that is, let's say, a bit of a thing for the individuals more, or maybe individuals that are trying to become a company, if that makes sense. We are offering a solution of opening an LLC in the UK, which is kind of helpful tool for a lot of different ICPs out there. I'll just mention a couple of them. Mariana can also share a couple of words about that one because that's her scope of responsibility when it comes to covering specific SLAs. a native company is, let's say, amazing tool for people that are into e-commerce, drop shipping, or trying to expand their business across globe and having a couple of different either contractors, employees, or assistants when it comes to, again, working and maintaining the business and growing and scaling up. The fourth one is native mobility. I won't call it only native mobility, but actually native mobility and recruitment, because this is what actually makes the circle whole. We started with the payments, we went with the work, we came to the company, and then we have recruitment and mobility. Native mobility is our solution that is offering now option for the work and employment, work and living visas in 17 countries across the globe. And native recruitment is one of our newest features that is giving the option to the companies across the globe to actually have, let's say, all-in-one stop shop for expansion or, again, cost saving and efficient growth. So we're offering recruitment services in all the countries that we are covering from the EOR side, and we can help you and assist on getting the right talent, or at least a couple of the potential talents, and saving your HR time, and additionally saving the time for HR representatives that you have in the company when it comes to screening and doing interviews that are now becoming a huge problem and fuss across the globe because of the numerous different topics. So I just wanted to quickly wrap up everything in 15 minutes. I'll give the mic to my colleagues. They will cover the rest of the important topics about the product itself and what can be provided besides what I already mentioned.
Cool. Thank you, Igor. Can everyone see my screen, by the way, or no?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, well, thank you, Igor, for that, for the introduction. I think that was really useful. Yeah, so I'm Lucy, I'm leading up the product team, and the purpose of this demo specifically is so I can go through everything that Igor said, but also just give a top level for individuals, or if you are thinking about using native teams to onboard your seats as well. Hopefully you'll find some value in this, and just show you all the features we have. We'll try and fit in as many as we can. And then, of course, future webinars can actually go deeper into the specific features that we have. So the dashboard that you see it, this is our primary wallet. The wallet actually is for everyone, employers or individuals, but what we have coming up in the new year is an employer-focused dashboard. What this means is that you'll actually be able to have more reporting, better team management as well directly. But for now, as an individual and employer, you can see the wallet straight away. You can see that I have a primary wallet balance, and I can also have my total balance. The total balance, why? Because you have many currencies that you can have into the platform. You can see I've got many here. Normally, though, you probably wouldn't have as many, but this is for demo purposes. And if there is a currency that you cannot see, you can then add it here, or you can request any currency that you would like. We have, as Igor mentioned as well, our main currencies, Euro, USD, and GBP. We have the bank details attached. So it's really important when you're using these wallets that you actually use the reference number here. The reference number is really like mapping out your individual wallet, whether it's your company one or your individual one. And you can top it up using the bank details as well. Here you can view all the transactions for all the different funds as well. So for example, you've got the USD euros here. And if you want to view more details of the transaction, everything is here, including the transaction number. This is just useful for us. If, for example, you're waiting for an invoice to be paid, you can just let us know of the transaction number and we can find the status for you. If I go into the individual ones, again, you can go into the latest transactions, but also wallet statements. So you can have an overview month by month breakdown of actually your incoming and your total spend as well. So with the wallet, you're probably thinking, okay, what am I doing with it? How do I use it? How do I top it up? So to top it up, you can do it in a few ways. Obviously, you can do it yourself. You don't have to invoice your client or request a payment. You can do it yourself. So here is an example. I can actually top it up and do it by bank account. Those account details I've already shown you, or you can do it with credit card. We also allow a Payoneer integration. So if you have a Payoneer account, you can actually connect that in the settings, and then you can transfer the money from Payoneer to the wallet directly. Other ways of topping up, of course, there is ways of payment requests and the invoicing. So if you go to the dots here, you can see many different options. So we go over to the native pay, and you can request a payment here, which is actually the same one as the quick action over here. So they're the same. To request a payment, you open this tab, and then you can see all of your all and received here. These are all of them, and I'm requesting a payment now. Let's say I request it to Amber. She's one of my contacts. I can decide if I'm part of another organization. Do I'm doing it from the organization, or am I doing it from myself? And also we need to add in a request category. So there's many different ones here, like, is it a reimbursement? Is it a refund? And is it just some specific income as well? This is important for documentation that we have. Again, the currency, so you can actually receive it in any currency that you choose. That's how our work payments are really flexible. And you can add the amount, and also, let's just add some note here. I can also schedule. So for example, if I want it sent just now, that's great. If I want to send it weekly, maybe I'm doing some ongoing work and I know that I want to be paid weekly at the same time, I can also do it monthly, the same thing. After this has been sent, this will go to my client. They receive an email, and then they can either pay directly via bank, via card, or they can actually log in to a Native Teams account and also top up their wallet. If I'm an employer, or I'm someone who has, or anyone who has received payment requests, I can also pay them directly from my wallet here. So I'll be notified using email and our notification tab. And you can see I can pay via credit card, bank transfer, or wallet. So that's the payment request side of having funds coming in. I'm now going to show you the invoicing. So if I go over again here, you can see here creating an invoice. So creating an invoice is quite similar to the payment request, but this actually includes an invoice. It has more paperwork attached, which is needed for some people. So therefore, I can have the issue date. This is the date that I want it to be sent, and the due date is the date that I expect it to be paid for. If it goes over this date, it will actually have an overdue mark on it. So I know that my client hasn't paid yet, and then we can send a reminder email. Again, I have to pick the invoice category, and I can add my items. So let's say design work, 1 and 10 euros. Description is optional. And I can actually attach any files to the invoice. So for example, if I've done some work and I need to attach the design work, I can attach it here. I can include my name in the invoice, or it can just be Native Teams. This is up to you. And then I'm going next. You can then preview, and you can see that it's from Native Teams. You can see everything is here, including the price and, of course, the banking information that they should pay to. Again, this is only available for a few currencies, but all currencies can also pay with card. Okay, so after you've used and topped up the wallet and you have funds in the wallet, what are you going to do with it? So there's a few things. Obviously, if you are an employer, you can obviously send it to your employees. One of those ways I would like to show you is the batch transfer. Batch transfer is a really good way if you've got lots of funds and you need to send it to your seats, or you just want to send it to your contractors. You can download the template, and I can upload it now. And then when you generate the template, you can then see the name, the wallet, from the wallet to what wallet you would like it to be sent to. If they don't have a Native Teams account, that's fine. It will be reserved. It will be reserved in your funds until they actually create one. Once they've created a Native Teams account, it will be released, and then they will get it. And then another way of using the funds in your wallet is, of course, via the Native Teams card. So I've actually got mine here. This is my real card. I don't know if you can see it, but I use mine all the time. And you can have a virtual one and a physical one. In some countries, we're still expanding into this, so only the physical will be available. But for example, this one doesn't have anything on it, but if you do have a virtual card, you can connect it to your Apple or Google Pay and quickly spend and do a top up and then spend whatever has been on your wallet. We have a guide as well. I ask you to look through the guide because it tells you everything, like how to activate the fees and also how to connect it to your phone. And also the settings. And if you need to view the card details, like the number and the CVV, you just open this model. You will receive a one-time password on your SMS on the number that you connected it to. You enter it, and then the details will pop up. I definitely think in future webinars we can really dive deeper into the whole cards that we offer. Another way is, of course, sending the funds. So sending it sort of outside Native Teams. So if I want to send it to myself, which is very popular, say I want to send it to my bank account, I can first look at the fees that are in this document. So you can download them and see all the different fees depending on the currencies and the bank accounts you enter. And then I can send it to myself, which would just be a normal wallet to wallet, or I can send it to my bank account. So if, for example, I want to send USD to euros to a euro bank account, I can actually add here the bank account that I'm going to send it to. And depending on the country of the bank and the IBAN or the account number, we then calculate the fee immediately. So this, for example, this specific transaction has a 13.85 fee. So if I put some test, you need to read the terms of service and also understand that we generate an invoice for you immediately. Here you can then see the breakdown of the fees, so how much you're actually going to get in the bank account and how much you're actually paying as well. So all our fees are very transparent. If you do have maybe a fee dispute, this is something we call, for example, you're expected to receive X amount, but you've received actually way lower. You can start a fee dispute directly in the wallet as well. So let me see if I can find one of those. And let me find a withdrawal and withdrawal. And let's go to the statuses. Let's say I've completed this. Okay, so here's a good example. Imagine the fees, it said it was $13.99, but actually it's been a lot more. So to start a fee dispute, I just open it here. This doesn't 100% mean that you'll get it back, but this will open a case. And this means that even if you're an employer, you can open it for your team member as well. However, we'll review the case and then we'll refund any differences that you shouldn't have been basically charged. And one more thing that I'd like to mention is you might see the balance rewards. The balance rewards, you can learn more on our brochure page, but this is a way of actually keeping the funds and earning a little bit on the amount that you keep in your wallet each month. So I ask you to go and read all about the balance rewards and see if this is something that you would like to do, so you can get more out of Native Teams. Okay, so that covers most of the payment side of things. So now I will go to native work, and this is really good for employers who are adding the team. I think when adding the team, you want it to be like as smooth as possible without having to even contact us. So what we've done is we allow you to enter, if you're an employer, an employee seat or contractor. The difference is the employee obviously gets an EOR, official employment contract, and the contractor gets a different type. If I'm adding an employee, I can add multiple. I can import a CSV, or we recommend more for smaller teams to do it manually, just because the process is a little more hand-holding, just like you were on a call with someone. So this is the form, and actually I'm going to show you one I started earlier, so I can show you one that is filled. Oh, let me go back. So his name is Nicola, the one that I've added. Okay, continue the EOR. Okay, can't continue that one. Let me see if I can continue another. If not, I will just go forward with it. So if I go here, you can see this is the email that I would have received after filling in the EOR contract. So what I can do is I can show you on this account how that whole EOR process looks like. And this is also for the individuals. So what I can do is I can view and edit it. And you can see I've got here the steps needed to fulfill the contract. So I'm asking about the country, the full name, the job title as well, and also the salary. So this is the salary breakdown. And I can download a PDF or a CSV. So this has all the contributions that we have as well. If they or you are an expat, we also need to be notified of that, just because maybe the process will be slightly different. Please also enter the start date and then go on next, and you can add your nationality, the address. And of course, we need your bank account number for the salary payment as well. And then any employment details, for example, if you have any children, and again, the payment details. For this, through this part for the employers, if the salary is going to be invoiced to you, you can select that here, or would you prefer it to be charged to the native team's employees wallet? You can select that here as well. And then any supporting documentation as well, like the ID card and the backside. So everything is here. And then you can go ahead and you can generate the contract. With the contract, we have a simple, it's bilingual, and you can actually customize this contract as well if you so wish. And this is how it looks. And afterwards, you would just fill in all the details. Perhaps there were some details that weren't in the form. And then at the end, you would just add your signature, like so. You can add it here. And then you would finish, and then you would send it off. What happens after this is this then gets sent through to our team. We review it. It should take a couple of days, or sometimes even faster. And then the employee or yourself are officially employed. So now, as a seat, I'm going to go into what happens actually after you're unemployed and you can use native teams. So you will be asked if you need to use our cards to go through a KYC process. This is just normal because you need to go through and get one of these cards. So we just have to understand how you're going to be using it. But then also you have additional tools that can be helpful for you to manage with your team. So for example, with the absence management, this is a tool that you can see clearly, for example, the public holidays for each country. So if I, for example, have lots of colleagues who are in one country, I can see how many are off at that time. And maybe I will think before scheduling an absence. So here I can do contracted annual leave and the absence title, going to Madrid, and then the end date as well. When scheduling the absence, you can actually see how many people are also scheduled at that time. This will then go to the employer, and the employer will then approve. For the expenses as well, claiming an expense is very simple. You can have two options, either a prepaid expense or a reimbursement. So if you choose a reimbursement, obviously it's happened and you need to upload a proof of the made expense. So you just need to attach, for example, a receipt or something to show that you paid it. And then the employer can also pay you directly into the wallet or into the salary. If I want to claim a prepaid expense, the same thing happens. However, afterwards, you will be actually asked to upload the receipt, and then the difference will be reimbursed to you. Okay. So if we go back to let me see if this one's working. Maybe it's logged me out. Okay, if not. Okay, so as the employer account again, just a few things to show on the team level. You actually have, obviously, the employees, the contractors. We have something called the team roles as well, which we're really expanding. So maybe you're too busy to approve all of the expenses. Maybe you're too busy to approve absences. So if you assign a role to a seat, they can actually be the ones to go through and approve the expenses if they're a manager. This will be for all our features that we have coming up. And soon they won't even have to be a seat. We'll actually add a specific manager role for them as well. If you need someone also to be an additional admin to your account, you can add that too. You can add one yourself. And if you need more, you can just reach out to us and we can add more additional admins. This means that they get the exact replication of the account that you see now. And then the monthly payroll. So this is quite a new feature, which we're asking everyone to use. So you can let us know if you're an employer of your seats monthly changes. So you don't have to email us. You don't have to ask your account manager to change the salary. You can do it all here. And there are different ways you can do it. So for example, if Ligitza, she is here right now, she had a sick leave or she had unpaid leave, I can add all of the figures here. This will then get sent to our finance team and then the salary will be adjusted correctly. In the future, we will have approvals of this as well. So the manager, not the main admin of the account, will actually be the one who can either add the changes for the seat or can approve it as well. Okay. Next, we can go to the other items of native work, the tax allowances and the benefits. So we have our new benefits kind of user interface here. This is for employers and individuals, and even those users who haven't got an employment contract, you can still also enjoy the perks. The perks are all around the world, so you can have a look at any of the discounts that we offer. But of course, if you're interested in having insurance, for example, you want to expand globally, you can go into the insurance and see what ones we have to offer as well. You can filter by country and also category, like health, dental, travel, all of those. And if there is one that you are interested in, but you cannot see it, you can also get a custom package as well. If we go now to the tax allowances, let's go here. You can, of course, book a call with one of our tax experts, so maybe it be Mariana. And yes, this is all the tax allowances that are available for my team. As an individual, I will also have this view, but I can actually do a simulation and a wizard approach, which I can show you. So if I go here, and maybe I'm not so clear on what kind of tax allowances I can actually apply for. If I say personalize my tax allowances, I can actually just answer a few short questions. It's like a yes or no. And I can then be given all the tax allowances that I'm eligible for. So for example, we have our meal allowance, work result bonus, Jubilee Award, and these can actually help guide you into knowing what ones you're allowed to get. Of course, some of them will ask for some documentation to actually apply. But if you need any help with applying for any of those, you can just speak to our tax advisor. Okay, I think with the native mobility, I can just quickly share how, if you're interested, how to expand, you can create a request. So you can do the work permit and visa here as well. As an employer, I can do it for any of my team members. And if you're an individual, you can also do. So we just ask you about your desired work country. The assessment fee is 100 euros, and then the job title as well, and the gross salary. This then goes to our mobility team, and then we get in contact with you and start the process. And then native money. So native money is our new way. I talked earlier of keeping funds within native teams and what it would mean for you. So we will have, this is just very early days, but we'll have the ETFs and you can speak with a financial advisor. As you can see here, we have a premium concierge service. So right now, if you would like some assistance on wealth and how to maximize your salary, including tax optimization, buying and selling ETFs or planning, you can create a ticket for us or you can call us straight away. The premium concierge service is free at the moment with our native money free trial. However, in the future, it won't always be free. So maybe have a look around, maybe try and have a use of it, see if you found it useful, because we also have the general services, and this covers a lot of topics. So for example, let me show you the ones we have. If you're interested in relocation assistance or translation services, buying and selling of stocks, we already spoke about, or if you're interested in a new workstation setup, you can contact us and we will get someone to go through the process with you. And then last but not least, I just wanted to share with you a few new things. Yes, we have the knowledge base, which Igor shared earlier. Very soon, watch this space, that we're going to have an AI knowledge base where you won't have to go and look through all the articles. You can just do a quick query. And all of the information from all our knowledge base will be with you in a few seconds. And last, but definitely not least, is our native passport. This is one of our newest features in the app. This one isn't probably the best one to show because he's not verified, but if you are a verified profile, you've gone through the KYC and you've done the questionnaire and the proof of address, unlike this person, then you can actually share a public profile URL. And this URL can go publicly to anyone. So you can add it to your CV, you can add it to your LinkedIn. So you can clearly show you've gone through a KYC process and you are who you say you are. So this is really good for obviously hiring and also good for the employers to know, that everything's covered from that side by us. Okay. I'm going to stop here. I think, Mariana, I can log out and log in for Native Company if you wish.
Issues with my setup here, but yes, sure, you can do.
Okay.
I'm going to briefly explain from the tax and legal perspective what a native company actually is. Please tell me first, you should see me now. Okay.
Yeah.
So native company is actually a limited liability company, which has a different personality, let's call it that way, from its owner. So basically, a limited liability company in the UK is completely, it's having its own, let's say, existence and its own responsibilities, which means that owner of the company cannot be in any way accountable for his company's obligations in terms of tax, in terms of, let's say, interest, etc. Native company, as I mentioned, since it's a limited liability company, the most important tax could be, it is actually corporation tax. There are two tax brackets in the UK. Basically, there is a lowered tax rate of 19%, which is applicable for profits that are below 50,000 of British pounds. However, the general corporation tax rate is always 25, but there is a scalable tax rate, which means if a company generates or earns profits that is above 250K, then the scalable tax rate will apply, which means that first 50K is always taxed at 19%. Like Igor mentioned before, this feature, this plan we offer in Native Teams is very useful for not only entrepreneurs and freelancers, but also companies that wish to go globally, to try Western, let's say, Western markets. So it is possible to, it's possible that companies open their daughter companies in the UK and to start growing businesses there. On the other hand, when it comes to some of the legal obligations for native companies, there are two main obligations. Of course, first one is to file confirmation statement, which is actually one really short information to the business register, which changes happened over a year. So basically, these changes can be in terms of directors, shareholders, share capital, or let's say business activities. And another one is filing of the corporation tax return, and also payment of the corporation tax. When it comes to directors, they do not have to have established employment relationship with their companies, nor to have any kind of managerial contract with the company. Basically, company it's operational on its own, and every expense that is going to happen is going to be treated as business expense of the company, not of the director himself. When it comes to updates on our invoicing platform, we have amazing things going on, but also we included UTR number, unique taxpayer reference number, on the invoice. But in that way, user can choose whether he's going to include this number on his invoice or not, because it's not the most important number on the invoice from the legal perspective, of course, is company number, not the UTR. But we decided to include it because we had some of the requests in the previous period. So it's a decision that was made. However, when it comes to employees, there is no need to have employees with your native company. Of course, you can, but you don't have to. As I previously mentioned, a company is operational on its own, and you can also have contractors. By having contractors with your native company, the bill that you're going to pay is going to be treated exclusively as a business expense of the company. And contractors are going to be solely responsible for their personal income taxes and for social security contributions, whatever they are. So basically, in the countries they're tax residents. Additionally, what I would like to speak about is the process of setting up the company. Basically, the process is very straightforward and intuitive. It takes about 20 minutes to send the request, to fill in, and also to send the request. You're going to be asked about your personal details, about the shares you want to own in the company, about the value of each share. And after we finalize it, we're going to pay for the setup. After sending the request, approximately from 2 to 5 working days is the deadline for decision whether the company is officially registered or no. But from my experience, it's even less. So basically, users are receiving the certificate of incorporation and memorandum of association even in shorter time frames. So basically, even in the same day or at the latest tomorrow. After that, the company has to be activated for corporation tax. So we do mail management on the address we share. So approximately 3 weeks after the incorporation, we are going to receive important documents, including activation code for corporation tax. Basically, we just copy paste the code we receive, and the procedure is completely finalized, which means that we did everything in compliantly in a timely manner. After that, of course, the company is fully set up, and users usually in very short period, they get the access to all of the functionalities on Native Teams platform. And they can start sending invoices, they can receive invoices. They also have a separate wallet for their company, separate in terms of it's completely separate from their personal one, but they can manage both of them. And I think that, Lizzie, yes, you can start showing some of the important updates. Also, I want to bring one huge update that we made, and I think it's currently under preparation, but in terms of directors and shareholders, it is possible to have like more than one director and shareholder, and we're currently trying to improve the setup on the Native Teams platform. In that way, we can include everybody who is registered as a director or shareholder. So it's going to be visible even on the platform. There is a separate separation between personal and business emails. So the email that was initially linked on the company's house web portal as the business email is going to be linked also on our platform. When it comes to invoices, I mentioned that we're going to include unique taxpayer reference number. The invoices are drafted that way, so it's completely compliant with VAT and general tax code in the UK. But the majority of our clients are out of the VAT system, so unfortunately, they do not use it still. And yeah, we're currently preparing chart of accounts, which means that our users are going to be able to sort their expenses in a legal way. So basically, every expense has its own code, and they can do it properly. So our accountant, in a timely manner, of course, can know how she can prepare, good bookkeeping reports, and we are in advance prepared for preparation of the annual accounts, which is important to be sent to the tax administration. That would be it from my end. It's very short, but I'm open to questions.
Thanks, Mariana. I think if you can still see my screen, this is
Yes.
just an example, of the chart of accounts. And if we go back to the main dashboard, as you said, you get the two wallets. Very important to mention that you do have your personal one and your limited one still. And then the invoicing as well. So as you mentioned, you can actually invoice from your personal or entity wallet. So it's the same setup, but you can also add your logo too. So it will be your entity.
Yes, exactly. That would be it for now. I really hope that we're going to organize another meeting that is going to be exclusively focused on native company with even newest, functionalities and updates of the existing ones.
Cool. Well, I think apart from that, the only thing I have left to mention is the mobile application. I'm not going to show you a demo, but please, you can go and download it from your app store. And yeah, please, it links up to your wallet. And if you have any of your transactions there, you can also send money to your bank account from there as well. And of course, if you want to order the virtual card, you can use that on Google and Apple Pay. So we'd love to know your feedback. We have actually a specific place in the application for feedback as well. So please, if you go to here, help and support and tickets, you can actually leave anything. So creating a ticket, the fee disputes are here, and then the feedback. The feedback really helps us shape your experience too of the product and anything you're interested to see, whether that's integrations or a different, maybe, for example, you are using the mobile application for one thing, but you would like more features on there, please, write to us and we will look into it. Thank you.